Well,
we
Cody,
go.
we said we would go live if something broke, and something has broke here. Seth Jones is now a member of the Florida Panthers, but going the other way, maybe the more shocking news. Spencer Knight and a 2027 first-round pick, according to TSN's Pierre LeBrun. More information to follow here, but first time we've gone live on our YouTube stream for breaking news. So thank you for everyone already joining us here. Cody, what do we got to say here? I just got all the finished post-game show.
We need a backup goalie. Because I'm not comfortable with Chris Drieger. Cooper, everyone's saying Cooper Black. I'm not comfortable with him yet, but
your boy. By the way, your boy is Meeksy over there on our post-game show.
That's who that is.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But man,
Cody, wow. I haven't even chat. Cody, this is like the Matthew Tkachuk trade when you and Lex informed me of it, and then we went live on our post-game spaces over on the Twitter X platform. You guys just told me I just got out of the shower, just finished doing the recording here. I thought maybe something would happen today with Yoki Haru, maybe some murmurs about Seth Jones, but with Spencer Knight here, we just finished talking about Spencer Knight being part of the future going into next season with Bobrovsky, right, Cody? We've talked about that before in our post-game show.
And
get ready for the 14.5
this
million.
was the curveball that Zito likes to throw. He got it. He built the value back up. Now the Blackhawks have a goalie for the future in Spencer Knight. Man, I mean,
Nick's going to be joining us here in a minute.
Yeah.
I'm just refreshing my Twitter timeline, everyone, here, because I really haven't had a chance to look and see everything. You guys just let me know on our group phone call.
Chicago's eating $2.5 million of the contract, so he's going to be at $7 million for 5 years for the Florida Panthers.
So, Cody, originally we wanted 50% from Seth Jones, but we never thought $4.5 million of Spencer Knight is going to go the other way.
Yeah, because we've always saw Tkachuk, LTIR, and I wish we didn't give up the 26th first.
Whose value is not this high, Don Bania?
Spencer He's talking about Seth Jones.
Seth Jones or everyone involved?
But Seth Jones, that Panthers back end looks a lot better.
Cody, I don't know if you can share this from Big Head Hockey, but they have a Seth Jones tweet right now. It says 42 games, 7 goals, 27 points, 53-point pace, $3.8 million market value by The Athletic. I don't like those market values put out by The Athletic because it doesn't take into account where this player will be going to, maybe what team he has been stuck on or strapped with. And anyways, that market evaluation is very subjective. I think he's more of and Cody, you might not believe me, but more like between a $4.5 to $6 million defenseman.
Yeah, with Chicago, yes, but he's going to be better with the Florida Panthers, if we're just going to be honest here. Better system, way better players. And now you kind of have that Twin Towers pairing on your second pair with Mikkola, now Jones.
That's what we're thinking anyways, right?
That's what I'm assuming, because you're not going to break up back Vlad Forsling.
Does Seth Jones go to power play 1? I've been a big advocate of that if we did acquire him.
I wonder. I think he does.
Seth Jones up.
But and
where any feelings on PK? I haven't had a chance to pull up his numbers on Quantum.
I have no idea.
Okay. Sure.
This is let's see. And
what else?
And Ryan, a Spencer Knight backer, 5 years at $7 million for someone who hasn't been good in 3 years.
I think Canadian Ryan, our great moderator here on After Dark and our YouTube side, I think he's really going to hate Seth Jones here because his guy Spencer Knight really probably his favorite.
He was my guy too,
but Ryan's favorite guy. Your guy's Et too, and you got Eki still. Now Ekblad here, Cody.
And
all those.
Here's where I disagree. Chicago had no leverage. Chicago had leverage. To say they had no leverage is not correct. But the thing is, and here's why I never thought 50% for Jones was going to make sense.
Okay.
Because Chicago in 5 years is looking to be a real competitive team probably be in their playoff, like right at the cusp of their playoff window starting to begin, and maybe their cup window right around there. Because 5 years, you got to have something there especially for Connor Bedard. So,
hey, Eric Carlson, piss off now. You can head to the Lone Star State.
Seth Jones was either a Star or a Panther. And Seth Jones is the archetype for what a lot of the new defensemen is: smooth skating, big. For a first night, I thought we'd be getting Bedard. Like, come on with that. But
Cody, can we put up the Pierre LeBrun tweet? So he's the first one to break it. I'm gonna look to see what else we have here.
Yeah, give me a sec here.
Because it said more information to come from one article that I'm reading.
I think it's done, honestly.
How are Chicago fans feeling right now? So they have their goaltender.
I think they feel good. I think they feel good.
Does this mean Bobrovsky has a lot more left in the tank, according to management, Cody, than a lot of the fan base feels?
I don't know, but we got to find a backup goalie. And here's the funniest thing.
I think they have someone already targeted, Cody, because
Dave coming in here saying, full circle, everyone thought we were going to draft Seth Jones.
I did. I wanted McKinnon or Jones in that draft. I did not know who Barkov was. I fell in love with Barkov after game 1 in Dallas, but I did not know who Alexander Barkov was. I was not familiar with your game. But Seth Jones was a beast in Portland. He went to the Memorial Cup Championship against Nathan McKinnon and the Halifax Mooseheads. This guy was dominant player for USA World Junior program. The numbers that he put up for Columbus, go look at those power play numbers, everyone. This guy is situated perfectly for Paul Maurice playoff 2-1, 3-2 type hockey. How much minutes do you need me to play, coach? Another 10 minutes? Sure, throw me out there on the ice.
Listen,
I'm talking about Portland. I'm going back.
This ain't happening right here.
This guy hasn't had a chance to win. We want to talk about Sam Bennett. We want to talk about Brandon Montour. How can we not talk about Seth Jones?
This ain't happening right here, Groove and Grit Show. That's a pipe dream.
Oh, I heard the Gibson money. Anaheim's not too flexible on that. So unless they change their tune there, Cody.
Man,
oh, boy.
I mean, what?
I guess the Oilers didn't get a goalie they needed in this situation.
But now the defense for Florida looks a lot better.
For minute allocation? Oh, my. Dmitry Kulikov, is he thanking the heavens?
Okay, wait. I got another tweet from LeBrun here.
Throw him up on the screen whenever you got stuff, Cody.
And here's the condition. The condition on the first round pick is Seth Jones in the Seth Jones trade is the 26th first going to Chicago. But if Florida ends up not having that pick, then it moves to a 27, which goes to the Blackhawks instead. So Chicago's either getting a 26 or 27 first round pick.
So Cody, are you upset because you said under pretty much any circumstances you did not want a future first being moved? That was one of your parameters.
But what did I say? But for what?
I get it, but we're giving up night and we're giving up quite a bit here.
We're giving up quite a bit here,
right? That's the thing, and especially if you were a strong proponent of that pick. I wasn't as strong on the pick, but we have to see how this plays out now. Wow.
I mean, they needed to get something done, and they got it done. But
a lot of Blackhawk fans shitting on Seth Jones' game, but your team sucks. Your team is poverty, Chicago. So you don't understand what players come into the Paul Maurice system look like. We had Mark Stahl fit into our system and go on a Stanley Cup final.
And here's where I go back on Chicago. And like Chicago fans like shitting on Seth Jones or whatever. We're not going to be asking him to do the same thing that you and guys in Chicago asked him to do. Mm-hmm. Who needs picks when cups on the table? Yeah, I understand that, but we haven't had a first round pick since 2021.
This is the thing. Great thing here by Goat. I think new member of our community. Welcome, Goat. This is the thing that was with the Vancouver Canucks fans that you could talk about, Cody. I know it's a lesser degree with OEL, but look at the contract there and what situation he came into Florida with. The fans hated him because of the contract in Vancouver.
Yeah, but look at this tweet. As a Hawks fan, Seth Jones is a beast when he actually tries hard. He just never tried in Chicago. And I think that's kind of like the reason.
We got to get maybe
Caesar's in here. Let's stop.
What's going on, guys?
I'll add more stuff once we get it.
Caesar, have you refreshed your...
Can I curse on here?
Yeah, I mean, what the hell?
Holy shit! Wow.
Well, the agenda's changing tonight for After Dark.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That
Oh
agenda
my
changed
goodness.
damn
Cody,
quick.
can you fix that overlay there a little
I
bit?
gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're gonna add a fourth. Here we go.
Here we go.
These were the two. These were the two guys right here.
I'm lucky I got clothes on, Caesar. I just got out of the
What in the fucking world just happened?
Didn't we call this though?
I told you I wanted Jones. Cody's calling me. I'm in a Walgreens right now. And Cody calls me and I'm like, hold on a minute. I'm like, what's up? He's like, yeah, so here we go. I'm like, oh, we got Yoki Haru. He's like, oh, you haven't seen the tweet yet, have you?
Bro.
And I'm like, what the hell does that mean? And he's like,
because Yoki Haru was getting healthy scratched, right?
Look,
and you know what? You know what kind of set it off? In that moment before Cody told me, I could feel my phone buzz like 8 times. Like, oh my gosh. I've gotten like 12 texts about this.
Yeah, like I've gotten texts from my Tampa Bay Lightning
You guys
friends.
need to catch me up because I just got the news.
Okay, so basically,
well, there
so
you can get caught up by Ryan's message.
The full rundown, Caesar, is it's Seth Jones and a 26th fourth to the Panthers in exchange for Spencer Knight.
Fuck.
And a 26th first, but a conditional 26th first. But the condition is if we use the 26th first, that if we trade it in another deal or whatever, that pick slides to 27.
Which indicates to me that this isn't done.
But so then that means we're retaining his full salary because
no. Chicago's retaining 25%.
We were talking about Yoki Haru getting scratched,
Chicago's
and then about half an hour later.
So Seth Jones goes from 9.5 to 7 million for us.
Okay, I can take that. But
for this,
so can you pull up the trade details, Cody, real quick for me, please?
There are so many different paths.
LeBron 4 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
Pierre LeBron's talking about.
Oh, wow.
Cody Pierre LeBron one.
That doesn't give the full details. That just gives the condition of the first.
Okay.
Sarah Volley has the full tweet.
Yeah. This raises not just a numerous amount of questions for right now and going forward for this year, but this summer, right? And it's like, oh my gosh. Like, Kirby, we were looking at Yoki Haru getting scratched. Like, oh, keep an eye out. Uh-huh. Well, here we go.
But now,
dude, I agree with Ryan here. This is crazy.
It's psycho. But here's the thing, and this is what I always kind of had reservations about Spencer Knight. Was his prime gonna hit? Was our prime gonna hit our window? Was his prime going to hit our window? Because the prime for a goalie is around 26, 27, 28, 29.
I don't know. I did not think, especially with the way Spencer Knight has played.
I was going to say, dude, these last 8 games.
Because here's the thing, like publicly, and I know fans talking and management talking is two wildly different things.
And I know there's a lot of people in our spaces that didn't really like Spencer Knight, but I was kind of on the opposite
But here's the thing: it's like all the trade people who wanted Knight traded, right? And fans, those talks had all subsided, and this kind of just feels like a really weird time to make the deal, and you know.
We talked about showcasing sort of, so I guess Knight was being showcased.
Well, maybe, but I mean, somebody told me this, Kirby. I think you were on the phone too. It's like we're not going to see a lot of Knight down the stretch. Well, hell no, we're not now. I mean, like,
remember that was the word that we heard from behind the scenes that they were going to start more. But I
mean, do you guys have confidence in what's his name in Charlotte? Drieger. I mean,
I think we're going to have to make another.
Is it Cooper Black time now, Kirby?
I don't know. Me and Cody were just talking about that. I don't know if it's within the system.
He's been playing good at Charlotte, but I mean, it's a different ball game.
Imagine it goes from Ryan's guy Knight to Matthew's guy Cooper Black. Holy jeez. I don't think it's
I think we need to go grab a backup goalie real quick.
I think a backup goalie's happening. When you are a Stanley Cup defending champion, you're not trying to go for a playoff spot. You're a defined contender. Cody, I don't think it's coming within our system right now.
But here's the other part. It's like, you have to get a backup now. Like, you're not going to roll with Chris Strieger as your backup, are you?
You
He's got
can't.
an 885 save percentage in Charlotte.
So the guy we saw today, Dan Vladar.
I maybe, I don't know. Maybe they're like, hey, Dan, don't go on that bus just yet. We're gonna keep you around here for a little bit.
Right over here.
That would be something, huh? But now that's
because they believe in Logan Cooley. No, what's his name? What's his first name? Cooley. In their minor league system.
Devin Cooley.
Devin Cooley.
Devin Cooley. Thank you.
Yeah, he started a couple games for
Vladar's
last year, right?
Vladar's salary may be a bit too high.
Is it, Cody? Even prorated?
2.2. But
I have a question. Is this trade possible with the Kachuk not on LTIR yet?
yes, now it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Because now we only have about, if we had 3 million before this, we're probably right around 1.1 because the difference between Spencer Knight's 4.5 and the 7 million is 2.5. So we still have a little bit more money to go and get. Yeah. So we're like right around like 500,000-600,000. So around there.
Well, Kirby, I'm just going to say
I just want to know who's getting traded out next. I don't think anyone else is getting traded out next because
there's more moves to come.
Yeah, but here's the thing about Spencer Knight, and this is why I never ruled out trading him getting traded. Zito only has that contract that ties him to Spencer Knight. Spencer Knight was not drafted by Bill Zito.
No, there was a Dale Talon. Tom Rowe.
It was Dale Talon's. It was Dale Talon's last pick. Tom Rowe was an advisor.
I believe in Bob there, JC. I believe in Bob. Everyone always doubts him.
No, I believe we're rolling. I agree with you, Kirby, but I mean, kind of what Ryan's going back to what he said. With that salary and the way he was playing these last couple of games, and I understand he's only 23, but what are we going to do for the future? Does this mean that we're going to sign Bob to an extension now?
Well, first of all,
we don't know yet.
Bob's up
2-year deal.
Bob's up in 2 years. You know what this moves means? It's like
a year. So he's got one more year after this.
Yeah, but a 2-year extension.
But here's the thing: this move is made for right now. That this defense, especially if there's another move, but now this defense means it moves Kulikov down to the bottom pair.
So now instead of Kulikov, Schmidt Balinskis, now you're running Schmidt Kulikov.
As of right now.
Yeah, and your second pair, like here's the thing. I'm a big believer in the Twin Towers pairing. You gotta go Mikola Jones here.
I'm just gonna say,
yes, I've been saying that a lot.
Do you know the amount of minute munchers you now have on this blue line? Like, you just saw Nico Mikkola at Four Nations playing 23, 24, 25 minutes, and oftentimes being the best defenseman on the ice, for Finland at least. Forsling and Ekblad, we know the amount of minutes they could play. Seth Jones, this guy, a former top 5 pick, I wanted him.
So me and you were on it.
I wanted him now.
We've been calling it.
I wanted him 2013 and 2013. I was like, we got to get Jones.
Well, the minute distribution and how much minutes he can eat is as close as you can get to Brandon.
I'm going to be honest with you. Name a better defense in the Eastern Conference right now. With this, name a better top 4.
Yeah, because if you go deeper, you can look at Toronto.
Top 4?
Name a better top 4 in the Eastern Conference.
Let me look at the teams. Let's see. I got to look at all the teams.
Well, I would have said Boston at the beginning of the year, but I don't know what's going on there.
Carolina's what? Like Burns, Slavin. Who else? Like
Ryan saying Carolina. Are we sold on Seth? Are we sold on Brent Burns going into the playoffs? For Carolina. That was pretty shaky experiment last year.
His age is starting to show for Burns.
Exactly. Jones is a minute muncher.
Look, I think Ryan's just upset that we traded Knight.
I'm upset too. I don't know how I feel 100%.
But here's the thing:
Ryan's going to be the most upset.
Chicago wanted young NHLers that can make an impact now, and they needed a Spencer Knight type because Knight
is not going to hurt us, Cody, unless the Hawks are winning Stanley Cups.
And here's the thing: it's a trade meant for right now, and it's a trade to the Western Conference to a team.
I was going to say.
we're not going to
It's
see.
not going to Montreal.
Right.
That, Nick?
Kirby has always said if we trade Knight, and he said he would like Gooley or one of those defensemen that Montreal had, but he's like, I don't really want to trade him to a Montreal or a team that needs him. And all the other teams we talked about, Calgary or teams we wanted defensemen from, like we can't really trade Knight to them because they don't need him, right? This is the one spot that legitimately made sense for Knight for
this move makes sense for both teams.
It does.
Yes.
It makes 100% sense for both teams here.
But Florida needed that second defensive pairing there.
But here's
They've been
Cody,
slacking
even with the pick though, because you didn't want to move the pick.
Yeah, but here's the thing. What was my caveat with the pick? What was my caveat?
Well, I thought bigger than Seth Jones. I thought Rantanen or something level.
Well, that's a little bit dreaming. I said the only way I would trade that pick is if I got someone that could help me for the next 5+ years. That's what I've said.
Okay, you're not big on Seth Jones though.
I'm not big on him.
Hey Ryan, I'm right there with you. If I
But here's the thing, and this is where where is it at? And here, Chris Scott, Twitter's killing the trade. Twitter killed the Kachuk trade.
Yeah.
They
cried at me about Ratko Gudas.
Twitter killed the Bennett trade.
They wanted Bob gone.
Twitter killed the Montour trade.
Yep. They said, Bennett, who's this guy?
Like, I don't care what Twitter says because do you know how many people
taking a lot of L's.
Do you know how many people that night said we had freaking we got fleeced by Calgary? Now look at what they're saying. You know how many people have said because Montour
it was called the Brad Treliving Masterclass before there was ever the Paul Maurice Masterclass.
And here's the thing. And here's the thing. The Montour trade, his chart was complete red. He was one of the worst players in the NHL analytically. And it's the thing. Like if you were upset by moving Spencer Knight, I can understand why. But I was more afraid. You can ask Nick and Kirby this. I was more afraid of us losing Sam Escavas than I was Knight.
Yeah, and
I don't think they were going to move him after tonight's game.
No,
I mean,
I think this trade was probably
they traded for Toronto after a 2-goal night in San Jose, and he scored the OT winner. So I was going to put anything past him.
I think
you're right.
I think they knew this was probably going to happen tonight.
Ryan, I'm wearing Luongo here. Luongo. So just relax.
Just showed us your ass. Like
I was gonna say, you were kind of twerking there.
Well, I'm trying to turn.
This is after dark. Damn right. Let's go.
Like this.
Yeah, now we
Kirby,
see it. Now we see it.
Hey, yo,
let's much better, Kirby.
Let's get the viewership up.
I'm all 6'1".
Well,
Kirby, now we got to put a warning on this video.
Oh, look at
Am
Carly.
I coming to play in net?
Look at Carly. And
well, maybe.
Last case of emotion. And granted, this was one of the people in the beginning of the year that wanted to trade Spencer Knight.
So I have a question.
I guarantee.
I remember her saying that. I remember her saying very vividly, we could do a lot more with that $4.5 million.
Well.
I showed my ass, and when the ratings went up, Nick.
Oh, that's right. We went up to 31 viewers. Let's go.
There we go. Hey, make sure you guys like the page.
Oh,
go ahead. God. Hit the like button, y'all.
No,
but man, wow, this is
like,
oh my
so
God.
I actually have a serious question.
And oh man, and literally just when Carly just started to believe in him,
the prisoner of the moment.
Okay, so hold on. So first of all, number one, is Kachuk going on LTIR? That's the real question now. And number two, who the hell's our backup goalie?
Right now, I think I trust Black more, even though we haven't seen him play.
They're gonna go Drieger.
Do you think that's gonna be the plan for the whole year?
You're gonna get at least for now. Luckily for us, we have 0 back-to-backs until the deadline. So
I was gonna say, and the thing is, Bob has not played many games this year.
And Kirby, and you want to hear something funny? And this is why I talk. And Kirby knows this behind the scenes. I told Kirby we were originally going to try and record last night for the podcast. That was his plan, and I told him
on the weekend.
I told him wait because I have a feeling something's going to happen.
Yeah, you were thinking maybe Monday, Tuesday, Cody.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so I said, okay, we won't.
Because now you got to make a lateral move here. Like Ryan's over here freaking crashing out. Like
I like this.
But it's you can't sit here and but for this season, for this run, Seth Jones makes us better.
Toronto, Ryan. You're gonna go
Spencer Knight.
Are all the Stolars fans going to come out now, Cody, and be like, "So you're going to?"
Look, all right.
Oh, it's
Yo,
still,
document this.
add that
Document
list
this.
to another
Document this.
name of
Document
people
this.
we could
Document
bring
this.
back.
Document that. He said it. Chicago wins the trade. There, I said it. I am not saying who wins this trade. Vejmelka, no, that's a starter.
Okay, so here's the thing: if we win the Stanley Cup this year with Seth Jones on our back line, we win the trade. I don't care what you say in the future, what happens in the future, because like Cody said, we're in the win now. So, but if we don't win the Stanley Cup this year, then I don't know.
Vince, you're operating.
I don't think it's just for this year.
You're operating under the assumption, Vince, that we're not going to put Tkachuk in LTIR.
How many years does Seth Jones have on his contract?
5 left at $7 million.
Okay, so we got him for. So this means we might not even sign Ekblad next year.
Yeah, that possibility is now opened up.
Wow, this is crazy.
What do I think of the trade? Fernando was asking me. I'm still processing. But I wanted Seth Jones. He was one of my guys.
I don't think it had his mind.
I'm still processing it. It was a hefty sum. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
But there's one thing you can't deny me.
Are you going to say what I'm thinking, Cody?
Is
believe in the goaltending department, the excellence of the goaltending department.
Believe in Zito. Let's go first off.
Okay. Well, I'll say the goaltending department. Okay.
Hey, I believe in Rob Tallis. Because whoever they bring, they seem
Louis
to always...
Luongo, Roberto Luongo.
I have a question. Are there any young goaltenders out there that were in a similar situation tonight? Maybe not the caliber of player, but yeah, but he's in San Jose. I'll say this: there have been 2 goaltenders mentioned, and people aren't going to like this. Number 1, Alexander Georgiev, and number 2, Vitek Vanacek. In San Jose, both in San Jose.
You've always talked about Vanacek.
I can't stand Vanacek.
I don't like his fundamentals.
I can't stand Vanacek. But those are realistically.
Peter Mrazek here, Tom from over on the Hawks.
Devin Levi.
Devin C.
Peter Mrazek, another World Junior hero. So
Mrazek, yeah.
Seth Jones.
Yeah, I know.
Ryan wants Luongo back.
So Kirby and Cody and Nick, do you think they have to trade for a veteran goaltender now?
A backup, for sure.
Yes.
Because if anything...
Because you can't go into the playoffs with just...
Listen.
I'm just going to say this.
If I'm Florida, I'm calling up the Rangers, and I'm asking what's the price for Jonathan Quick.
I like that. Especially with the trade they made today, right?
You bringing up Vitek Vanacek and Alexander Georgiev.
I don't want Vanacek. I'm just saying realistic trade options.
Yeah, Quick is realistic. Outside the playoff hunt, cheap contract. Wow. It's not gonna take much.
Wow.
Just trying to think. Like I wouldn't mind Vejmelka now. But I don't.
Someone we talked about a couple years ago there when he was kind of quasi-available, but then we were kind of stacked with the goaltending position until the night situation there. So it wasn't really a fit at that time.
But Quick, I mean, if New York's willing to move him, he just signed a contract. I think he's back for 2 more years after this one.
Oh, remember what Kenny Boy told us over there in Vegas? He's washed. He's not an NHL goalie anymore.
I'm trying to think of goalies because there's a couple of teams that have 3 good goaltenders, right?
This is an interesting one there. Did Knight want to leave? We would have probably known a little bit more about that when he was going through the player assistance program before the start of this year. Maybe he gave some type of indicator, guys, and they're like, we'll do our best to what we can. But I don't know. On that front.
That could be a possibility. I mean,
yeah, I would say put at maybe 10-20%.
One of the other questions I have is what were the other offers on Jones? Because I know Dallas, they're in a similar position to us where except the only thing is they have more of their core guys that they have to sign. We've already signed our core guys. That probably was the differentiating factor between them being able to commit to Jones and be willing to give up the pieces that we just did.
And we also know this, Nick, from some inside sources. Knight's camp hasn't been the easiest to deal with through this process of like, when are we getting more starts? When is it our time? Well, we have Bob here signed to this deal that this management didn't sign, but what he's doing for this team, we have to continue to go forward.
We were also told, I don't know if you were told too, literally like the confident, like Knight was finally confident, his mental turnaround, like from
he was living with Luongo in the playoffs last year, I believe.
It's like, like just
good question, Heimel.
What I was told is like just a complete 180 from the beginning of the year, right? And seemed like people were impressed with him inside the organization, right? So it doesn't really seem
some mixed messaging, I guess.
Potentially, like, and again, I'm not like harping on the trade, but if we're gonna get rid of Spencer Knight, and I don't know if they looked at this, I wonder if there were other defensemen maybe a little bit better or younger that could potentially have been options. Now, again, I think Seth Jones could really pan out. Like, I think if you give him a change of scenery and you put him on this team with this system, I think this guy could like almost turn it back. Like,
I agree.
He has that.
But he's a good
I got you to buy in. I got you to buy in there.
Second line defenseman. I don't want him to be the main guy next year.
Well, he'll be with four.
Well, who do you want the main guys to be, Caesar?
If Ekblad wants to stay for maybe $4.5 million,
He ain't taking that.
I'll take it.
He ain't taking that.
You ain't taking that, Cody said.
Well, this also means
look. I mean, I
know you're
understand.
gonna say stay in Florida, but not everyone.
This also means Sam Bennett, like any conversation, if there really shouldn't have. It's gone. It's done. It's
what I don't know. What do you guys think? I think Sam Bennett has been playing really, really well on that first power play, right?
Sam Bennett's not getting
he's turning into a bit of an enigma.
He's not getting traded, but he's walking in free agency.
And with the way that he's playing now,
I'm gonna be real with you.
Fans you're getting a chance too. Contract year. And I say this to Cody's guy Ekblad. Contract year. Mitch Marner.
And
contract
I'm
year.
willing
These
to
guys
bet.
are on contract years, everyone. Don't fall into that trap.
And I'm willing to bet that
I didn't fall into that trap.
Cody,
I said that's probably the player that he is.
We're getting too much in Sam Bennett talk, but I'm willing to bet that this is going to be the best he's going to look for the rest of his career.
Who, Sam Bennett?
100%.
Hey, Fabs.
Maybe, but with what he does on the ice, I think is more valuable than a lot of people think. That's my personal opinion.
But intangibles, and I'm a big intangibles guy, Caesar. You know this as my coaching background. It comes at a price tag. Right. If I have a reserve player, a sixth man, whatever off the bench, okay, I love that player, but it comes at a price tag, And if there's demands can't be met, that's when you have to move forward and move on.
No, I agree. I'm not saying overpay him.
But no, I have to state that because I know fans that say that they don't talk about the other side.
And here's the thing about Sam Bennett. I think a lot of people get confused. Sam Bennett is not the type of player that's going to help you get to the playoffs. He's a guy that's going to help you in the playoffs. That's the difference. And that's why I'm not paying him $6 million.
I'm going to push back a little bit on that because right now we don't have Kachuk. And Sam Bennett is helping us right now on power play 1. The power play has been looking pretty good with Sam Bennett in there. I know they haven't.
That's temporary.
But we're not.
I'm not saying he can be the main guy, but he is. Helping us right now.
But you need production to get to the playoffs. Production. I can't do it when he's with intangibles.
And he has been producing these last few weeks.
Last few weeks. But what about his entire career prior to this? He hasn't even hit 50 points.
Never hit 50 points. Never has hit 30 goals. There is a chance this year. By the way, Lundell has more points than him. That Anton Lundell gets to 50 points and Sam Bennett doesn't.
But then at your guys' point, then if I'm Zito, I bring that up in the negotiation tables.
It's but you know what? When there's another team in free agency saying, "Well, look, they're going to give me $7-8 million," doesn't really matter what he says. It's like
at that point, then you let him walk. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I mean Banksy, big Lundell fan, by the way. He's absolutely the
Tom, that's what I'm saying. He helps you win in the playoffs, but getting there, Like through the regular season,
there are so many playoff players out there.
Just to interrupt, fans want to believe in Lundell that has not been part of this community with Banksy and stuff, but they actually don't give the kid a chance. They're like,
well, I'm just going to say this,
but they don't give him a chance. And you're not, and it's so ironic because they're like, well, Paul Maurice doesn't like young players, but here's an opportunity where Paul Maurice can give a young player, and Anton Lundell, his pedestal, his chance to be the 2C of the future here.
But he's proved
and fans don't want that.
But he's proved it, I think.
No,
I think he's proved it. But here's the thing: for people saying, "Oh, Sam Bennett playoff," like Anton Lundell, he's going to be a 50-point, two-way, 53% face-off center, power play, penalty kill, everything you want, and he has playoff experience and success. He has been almost as good, if not better, than Sam Bennett has been in the playoffs the last 2 years. And you're getting that. Now, again, for the people who say, let's replace Sam, who's going to replace Bennett? I know they're not necessarily talking about number 2 center, okay? Because production-wise, it's going to be Lundell. But who's saying that whoever we replace Bennett's physicality with has to be the number 2 center? Why can't it be a third-line winger? Or even better, a defenseman? Or somebody else in the top 6, like a White Cloud and a Frederick instead of Bennett. Why does it have to be that? And when we lost Radko Gudas, everybody says we're losing our physicality. We're losing our physicality. Newsflash, I think we got, and this isn't because Gudas isn't tough. I think people would argue we've gotten tougher since Gudas has left.
Go look at the Rangers series with me.
And here's the thing. Kirby, you pointed this out to me. Paul Maurice, the Edmonton broadcast, and I think all of us agree, that Edmonton game was not nearly as physical as we were expecting it to be. Who wasn't in the lineup?
Tkachuk.
Why did we bring Tkachuk in? To make sure he's the driving force behind this team. Physically, Matthew Tkachuk is still the same guy they brought in 2.5, 3 years ago. He can get the guys going. If he needs to drag us into the fight and drag other guys with him, he'll drag some new guy in there. And he's going to stay in there.
Into the fight now. Gustav Forsling gets
Gustav Forsling.
Right.
But here's the thing. Chemistry, excellent point. But we can't use chemistry as an excuse to overpay role players. Overpaying role players.
Or the heart.
Overpaying role players is how Edmonton ended up with, was it Milan Lucic or was that LA who signed him? Was LA the trade?
It was LA. No, it was Edmonton who signed him.
And then they had to move him. And then they had to move him
to the Calgary deal.
To Calgary for James Neal. That was it.
But I just want to get to that point, Caesar, before you jump in. Fans that say trust in Zito, if he listened to all the fans that said sign these players because they're pulling on my heartstrings, no one would like Bill Zito because he would have horrible contracts.
Like, I'm just going to say this. Imagine Jonathan Huberdeau making $9.5–10 million, even if he is
more.
better.
He wanted more, say.
Okay, let's imagine Jonathan Huberdeau and Mackenzie Weegar locked up long term with an injured Aaron Ekblad.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I wouldn't like that. Right? I'm going to be honest with you. How good can we honestly be this year if Radko Gudas was making the $4 million some people wanted to give him?
No, like I even said, I'm right with you there, Nick. I know I was a Radko Gudas guy, but when I saw Mikkola, the way he played, a lot of people didn't really know him when he was in New York. They didn't really. I know he kept switching lines. They didn't really. He played with Fox and then kind of kept getting switched out.
I did want to point out this.
I think Huberdeau would still be here. I don't know about
Weegar. I did want to point out this comment real quick. Our system is physical. We don't need the most physical guys. We need guys who will play the system. Oliver Ekman Larson, perfect example of this.
Allergic to contact.
That's the term Kirby uses. Allergic to contact.
That comes from Struddy, our very own that we have here.
Okay, that is a perfect example of a guy who was not physical, came in, and at times was our most physical defenseman.
Yeah, certain times.
At certain times, you take a look at some of these other guys. Vladimir Tarasenko wasn't a fit when he came in. Everybody's saying, "Oh, is he going to forecheck? Is he going to play defense?" You know those questions.
Kirby had those concerns, and I tried to tell him that.
But here's the thing about this:
Kirby had those concerns,
right? And look at it. It's the buy-in. It's a mental thing.
I'm less worried about Seth Jones than I was.
I'm not worried about Seth Jones at all. He has all the physical tools needed to do it. And you know
he
what?
doesn't need to be the guy. He does not need to be.
And here's the thing.
Put him behind Mikola to be
I
physical.
think I'm going to be honest. I know people are upset.
I love it.
I think people should be really excited about this defense score. I mean, this is a good top 4.
Because
like a really good.
I'm
top
happy
4.
now because they had a Boldquist experiment did not work, and now
No,
because
I forgot about
slide into that.
Dude, how many times were we worried about Belinkus out there? I mean, oh my God, finally. So now we can kind of just rest a little bit here. Hopefully, we'll see what happens here in the next couple of weeks. And I know Zito's not done. I don't think this is going to be the last move.
I really find it hard to believe that Tkachuk doesn't end up on LTIR. It really doesn't. But I kind of wish it did for this trade. But
you think he will or won't?
I think he will because it's just because he's not put on IR right now. Because if they knew,
there's also pushback from Maurice saying that he will play this season.
Yeah, I think when you say this season, I'm thinking regular season and playoffs. If he said regular season, we're talking different ball game.
He said he will play for us again this year. Is the exact quote,
and that's vague wording. And ever since,
but when you have him go out on like Jimmy Fallon and all these other places and stuff, you wonder, is he really that
Friedman mentioned something about that. He said, "I suspect Tkachuk was in New York to see doctors." That's what Elliot Friedman said.
Oh, okay. Good point. Good point. Okay.
So it wasn't only that.
Okay.
And we've heard some other things circling around. There's a lot of different opinions it sounds like he's going to get.
We know a lot of people that run into the PTs, the physical therapists.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, it's right around that playoff timeline. But one thing is for sure, we made a trade and we improved the defense. The number one goal of this deadline has been achieved. Now there's some other questions. Obviously, there's still some other names and potential cap space to open up, such as a backup goalie, maybe a bottom pair guy, maybe a depth forward. I don't know, but we will see.
But all I know is for this year, the Panthers' top 4 is substantially better. You have 4 guys now that can play 20 plus minutes a night.
I would argue 23 minutes a night. 3 guys at least.
Mikola for 23 is kind of pushing.
3 guys that could play over 23 minutes. That's exactly what you had last year with Montour.
That's why I kind of that's why I said 420 plus because it sounded better, But but it's just for this trade, and I'm not going to look at Twitter. I could care less what they think because these are the same people that thrashed us for the Tkachuk trade, thrashed us for hiring Paul Maurice.
Go listen to our Spaces Rewind. Me, Cody, and Lex that night for the Tkachuk trade. It's on our Apple and Spotify.
I want us to go out and get. Wait, hold up. Some are questioning why Zito made. Why are they questioning why he made the move?
We need a defenseman. We need a defenseman. He made this move. They're in the win now window. And Cody and Kirby have been talking about this earlier.
And here's also where it makes more sense. Remember where Zito was before he got to Florida? Where was he? Columbus.
Yep.
And who was part of that top pair that upset the Tampa Bay Lightning? That was like the misfits, the guys who didn't want to play against. Oh yeah, Seth Jones. And what archetype of defenseman have we been going after these last couple of years? Big and mobile. Oh, yeah. Seth Jones.
And what's been missing on the power play?
Well, Tkachuk, but...
No, I'm talking about defensively. In the back end. Someone to quarterback it.
Yeah, but we haven't had a true power play quarterback since Yandel. Because I don't think Ekblad was a power play quarterback. Montour wasn't really a quarterback. He was just... I really don't like calling Montour a power play quarterback because that just wasn't his game. Montour wasn't a guy at the blue line that just passed it everywhere. He was a guy that was going to initiate the rush and wanted to be in the rush. That's why I don't like calling him that. But long-term deal for a very badly underperformed D-man, Ekblad good as gone.
See, you can't really say he's I know he underperformed, but he's been on bad teams.
But the thing is...
I'm just going to say, is it an unusual thing, not just for our team, well, especially for our team, but in the NHL, for underperforming players get better after a change of scenery?
And
you could use any sport. You could use any sport.
Goodis.
And here's what I'll argue to, and the people that are saying he was bad, he was underperforming. Let me be real with you. If you're a Panther fan, you're saying, "Oh, Seth Jones is bad." Are you seriously watching Chicago 50-something plus games a night? Or are you looking at what his stats are, his analytic cards, and you're looking at the big number, which is his salary? Because that is the biggest thing. People stare at the salary and they think a player is bad. I said it last
fan base that player came from with that increase.
And I said it with OEL. I said it last year. Like Kirby, Nick, and Caesar all can have me documented me saying this. I said OEL was going to be the best fit because guess what? In Vancouver, he was with absolute horseshit.
And Kirby, we watched film on Ekman Larson.
And what Cody
said, and we saw it, and we're like, okay, maybe he's not the $8 million defenseman.
If Roberto Luongo didn't give the green light to Chase
still a $4.5 million.
And you take a look what he's doing in Toronto now. He's a quality top 4 guy now.
And I think Luongo has a big say in what Zito does too. So
well, I think that's why.
This is a guy.
Hold on. That's why Knight was with the Panthers as long as he was, because I think Roberto Luongo was in his corner. Don't you think, Cody? Where some of the management might not have been in Knight's corner and team.
Yeah, like
I think Luongo was pro Knight.
Banksy brings up a really good, interesting name, Semyon Varlamov.
I think there's too much term.
I don't know what he's like right now.
He's been hurt. He's been hurt.
Oh, there's Matthew. Gosh, he did call it.
He did.
Team doesn't value Knight, is what he says right here. So
Matthew told me. Let me pull up my DMs. Matthew said to me, was it last night, Matthew? You said to me, "Hey, Kirby, keep an eye on Seth Jones. Keep that between us. Stock up."
If the team didn't really value Knight, don't you think they would have traded him last year?
Like team doesn't value Knight.
I'm going to be honest. They couldn't have made a trade like this.
There was no value for Knight.
There was no value.
No, I know there was no value, but I mean, if they didn't really like him, they would have gotten rid of the salary last year.
That could be bad asset management. You could get rid of the salary, but it could be really poor asset management when you can get a defenseman now. Whether people want to say that Jones is a good defenseman or not, that's debatable.
But then that would have helped maybe get a couple of other players in the free agency too.
Yeah, but free agency I'm not too worried about now because we only lose $2.5 million in cap space now. Because remember, difference between Knight's contract and Seth's contract.
Zito Caesar doesn't like to spend a lot of money in free agency. He moneyballs it, and he's been used to doing that. I think a little.
But now he has a lot more breathing room. Because I think
he's a trade route guy, Cody, and a guy that likes to keep his own and extend.
Yeah, and this why makes
sense. And I feel like he's getting guys that he knows he's familiar with too. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at his first free agency. Look, who did he bring in for second line center? Immediately bought out from Columbus. So yeah, Alex Wenberg. Will you guys still be screaming Knight during the national anthem of the Panthers?
Interesting point here. Tonight was the first night I did not scream Knight during the national anthem. I don't know if that's an omen. I don't know.
What did you know, Caesar? You're not telling us something?
Like tonight was like
Caesar. Is Caesar like
every single night? Every Panther game I go to, I was going to scream it. And tonight was the first one and then I realized I'm like, holy crap, I didn't say it today. And then this happens. That's crazy.
That night thing, it turned into a whole. I know Caesar partakes in it. Turned into a whole smorgasbord on Twitter
because. Right now, the Panthers projected
too much oxygen.
Right now, the Panthers projected cap space is at $20 million
for the offseason. Then, right?
Yes, $20 million. So, and they're going to need.
Is that with Jones?
No, that's with Jones. That's with Jones.
Okay, because I guess it replaces Knight. So
yeah, because it's only $2 million difference. So now. You have a top pair. You're going to need another top 4 defenseman. You're going to need a bottom pair. And you're going to need your tops. You're going to have to re-sign Mackey. But that shouldn't take much. He's going to probably get bridged for like a 3x3 or something.
Right.
Let's see. Lusto's under contract because you go Barkov, Verhaeghe, Reinhart, Blundell, Kachuk, Samoskevich. Your top 6 is signed. Then you need third line center or you go Lusto. And then you need 2 third line guys.
I would love them to.
Oh, no, wait. Lusto, Erod. So you need a third line center.
Here 1 more year or 2 more years, right?
And then you have Greer, Gadjevich. So you need a 4C. And that's and you're going to need a backup goalie. But with the cap going up, most of these key guys like their futures. Who should they be looking at extending soon or going after going forward? They've extended everybody they needed to extend now.
Yeah, except for Bennett, but we all know he's probably.
I think for me, you re-sign Jesper.
So are they taking? So they're going to take Belinkus out of the lineup, and I've said this to Nick. I think they still want Schmidt in the rotation. Nick.
I think he could.
If we make another trade, he comes out of the rotation.
I mean, I trust Zito more than Chris. Of course you trust Zito more than Chris Greer. Are you kidding me? Come on. I'm a Dolphin fan, and that's come on.
I think, if you get a guy like Yoki Harju, who, by the way, was scratched tonight, so who the hell knows what's going to happen? But that would almost immediately indicate that Schmidt's out of lineup. I don't know, because right now we have no cap space, right? Like after this deal,
we have 600,000 deadline cap space.
Okay, so here's the weird thing: how are we going to bring up a goalie? That's not enough money to bring up a goalie
right now for this year.
It'll put us.
Stay with me, everyone. The 4 letters:
minors.
LTIR. Let's go.
I think that's going to happen.
Belinkus goes down to the minors.
Trade Belinkus while his value is at an all. Wait, no, Bjornfoot's going to go down to the minors. That's how we create it.
I like the LTIR thing better.
Trade Belinkus while you can ask Kirby and Nick. I thought Belinkus was going the other way.
What his value?
You also said second. You also said a first or second, not a first.
I said second. I said second because of what the value was earlier. But Zito always likes to buy high at the deadline for some reason. He likes doing that.
Yeah, well, people saying it's Ben Sherrod. It's not Ben Sherrod. He's here for 5 years, so it's not a rental.
I mean, it's better than Ben Sherrod.
Yeah.
Get ready. Make sure to get your Seth Jones jerseys, everybody.
JC, is that your cash that you're going to be spending?
That's yours.
Man.
Kirby, it's your cash.
I'm a South Florida fan. Yeah, Zito made that trade 2022.
I only got funny money here.
You only pay a fraction of salary since they're in the second half of the season future considerations. But
so I was actually going to get this patch.
Put it on the screen if you have to, Cody.
I was going to get this patch sewed on.
I was just reading
my Spencer Knight jersey, and luckily I haven't. So
time to get a new jersey.
A lot of Spencer Knight jerseys. Yeah. I think John Acosta was wearing a Spencer Knight jersey the other night. I could be mistaken, but
Johnny boy,
I think he has one. At the reverse.
I'm going to still pull for him. I'm going to root for him.
I'm 100% still pull for him.
Cody's going to say don't watch Blackhawk games though.
Hey, now I got some reason to watch Chicago now.
Same here. Same here. I love Knight. I watched him throughout the college career.
Will Seth Jones keep the jersey, or will he change numbers? Number 4 is available for all I know, so I think he's going to take that number. Who was the last one because when they think number 4, I think Bouwmeester.
I was going to say the same thing, Bouwmeester.
What college package did you have, Caesar, to watch Spencer Knight? I used to watch Nick Bukestad on the Big Ten Network. I liked him.
Well, they used to show him when he used to play when they played in the juniors championship.
Well, everyone the World Juniors, you mean?
World Juniors, yeah, World Juniors.
I thought you were talking college.
I did. So I would just
I forgot about this guy. All right, so I got a question for you guys. Who do you think is the last? All right. So I was right. He did wear 4. I thought he wore 7. Who do you think the last 2 players were to wear number 4 for the Florida Panthers?
Bouwmeester?
Dylan Olsen. Remember that.
Dylan Olsen, right?
Dylan Olsen is 3 players back.
Oh, give me a damn it.
The last 2? The last 2, right?
The last 2.
Oliu Levy?
That's 1.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Having season tickets, I guess, pays off for these types of things, right? Trying to think.
I'm so bad at names, guys. You already know.
I'm trying to remember. Kampfer would have been before that, and I don't think
this guy
I don't think Scrashkins would have been before. He might have wore 6.
This guy did play in a Stanley Cup final game.
Casey Fitzgerald.
Yep.
That's right. You're right.
When you said that, I didn't know the number, but I knew the name.
I don't remember. I don't want to remember that one as much.
The Josh Maher and Casey Fitzgerald.
Other guys.
Stop it.
Or other guys that have wore 4. Keith Brown was the first one.
When you are so lost as a hockey player, you're asking Josh Maher on the bench what I can do differently. You're done at that point.
Right?
Tony, that's when I lost all hope.
Banksy, Kierstead wore 3.
Yeah.
Here are the other players. Keith Brown, Per Gustafsson, Jan Jakopin,
Were you?
Brett Hedican.
I remember Brett.
Bo Meester, as we know. Dennis Seidenberg.
Oh, that's going back. Okay.
Keaton Ellerby.
Air Drizone.
Then you go Dylan Olsen.
Alberto.
Ole Levy. And then Casey Fitzgerald.
Well, Levy was.
It's unbelievable. I'm just looking how many people on Twitter know more than an NHL organization and GM. Gosh, there's gonna be a lot of good. For anybody looking for a GM,
they don't only watch Panther games, but they watch the Blackhawk games and they know everything.
For anybody
they go read that clown boy Dom and guys like that, and they go read that. Play the Colby Cohen clip.
I'm just going to say this. For any NHL team out there looking for a GM, look no further than Twitter and just call a bunch of guys in the interview. You'll be set.
They should just hire us, man.
I'm just going to say this. If anybody's trades have been shit on more than Bill Zito's, I don't know whose, but like every time he makes a trade, it looks
not a winning proposition for those fans.
Well, I'm just going to say this. Every time Zito makes a trade, we scratch our head, and it ends up working out, doesn't it? Most of the time.
Most of the time, yeah.
But I don't. But again,
and when he misses, it's Balzers, it's Adam Boquist.
It's hard.
Like Cody says,
but see, those aren't trades; those are acquisitions.
I understand, Caesar, but that's when he misses. Those are those minimal acquisition UFA free agent signings.
And Boquist had so many opportunities.
Outside of Sherrod,
I'm not fighting with the Boquist fans.
Outside of Sherrod, which I'm going to be honest, I don't hate as much as everybody else, and I would go for it that year again because at the time it made sense. What trade has Zito made that you'd be like, damn it, I wish we could redo that?
Well, BP, we want to make
Zero.
Some people happy around the league because we've been.
People are going to say Sherrod, Giroux. For me, it's 0.
Yeah, I would
do those deals
anything.
Again.
I wouldn't undo anything.
Because I would do those deals again.
A lot of the bench draw people, Cody, they come from the same mindset, the same wavelength, the same little posse, the same little cliques. It's not any original thought. I don't think they could really debate you on it, Cody, when you're more in favor of that move. I was indifferent to it.
I wasn't in favor, but for what he did exactly what he was advertised to do. I don't remember him fucking up so bad during that playoff run. I don't remember him being so pitiful bad during that playoff run.
He was playing with a banged up Ekblad. He was playing with a banged up Ekblad that came back from a bad leg injury, and then Ekblad got his shit rocked from Ovechkin where he bruised his tailbone.
Yep.
He left the game, and Sherrod stayed out on the ice. What did we have? 5 defensemen, Cody, at one point?
Like, Sherrod did everything he was advertised to do. This is, like,
People watch the games, Nick. They watch the games.
Listen.
They want to go to bed because the games are too long in overtime. There's my rant for today.
But
the games are too long, Cody. I got to go to bed. I got to wake up tomorrow.
But I think that we're going to wrap it up there for now because we're going to go live again in an hour and a half.
I haven't even got a chance.
What the hell?
We might have to go later tonight, Caesar.
It's all right, dude. It's crazy. I know the Winter Class, or not the Winter Classic, the outdoor game in Columbus right now.
There's going to be a lot of controversy with this one because they missed a high stick on the game as of right now the game-winning goal.
Great point there, Parrish. Time heals all wounds.
Time does heal all wounds, but I don't forget.
Yes.
And I'll never forget that receipt, Vince. I remember that receipt.
What, today?
Yeah, you didn't see. He said Chicago won the trade. There,
Yeah,
I
save
said
it. Put it. Save it. You can save it.
Cody's not wrong because Sherrod
Save
was
it.
advertised to suck ass, and that's exactly what he did. Oh my gosh.
Listen,
Well, guess
every-
what?
Cody and Tuna just going at it here today.
Well, I'm just gonna say this: you can't do shit now because the trade's made.
It's
Oh,
over.
So
Yes.
get ready for
Oh,
Monday,
presents are under the
bitches.
tree,
oh,
everyone.
yes,
Presents are under the
Vince.
tree, Nick.
Yes,
No
Vince.
exchanges.
There's no exchanges. Get ready for Monday, bitches, because it's
Yes.
coming.
It's
Yes.
coming.
Yes,
It's-
I remember Bench. Yes, we sure miss Ty Smolanic in that trade for Sherrod. Oh man, we sure as
I
fuck
miss
miss
Emil
him, have we?
Heineman. By the
Oh,
way,
remember Aponiemi? Can't ever put that guy on waivers or trade him.
Oh, because he scored an OT winner versus Detroit.
in all seriousness, though,
Shout out Lucas Carlson.
I do want to say I really like Spencer Knight, and I do wish him a lot of luck because that is a guy I defended him a lot, and I
Me
still
too.
will.
I still believe he's going to be a big game goalie.
I think he's going to be a really good goalie for a long
Me
time,
too.
and I
And-
wish it would have worked out better.
Now he's going to be behind a young defense, Nick, in Chicago. We'll see how that works.
He's going to get a lot of games.
I was going to say
the other thing this brings
he's going
up
to get playing time now, right? So
is what does this mean for the Brossois injury in Chicago? I know they've been they're battling with that the whole year. And
I saw a guy.
Soderblom.
No, apparently a guy said earlier they're pretty much done with Soderblom.
Okay, but I think Brossois still is supposed to come back this
Is
month.
Brossois still a Blackhawk? Is he a Blackhawk?
Yeah, he hasn't played all year. He's been hurt. But all seriousness, for the fans worried about the trade, I get it, but I do think Zito knows what he's doing, and I think Seth Jones, especially with the pedigree he has and the record we have with these types of players, in terms of who aren't succeeding where they're at, and then they come in and they play really well. Montour, Bennett, just a few examples. I think Jones's pedigree is higher than this.
Yes.
Me, Caesar, Kirby, we really wanted Seth Jones.
So
I think this
Kirby, are you happy we're not getting Carlson now?
That's a big part of this.
That's the worst. That's the worst part about all this.
I know
those memes. Yes,
not
I was going to
wanted-
say you're not backed into the corner into a field.
No,
I will say this.
I'm free. I'm free at last.
There you go, Kirby. I will
There
say
we go.
this. I will say this. I think this makes our top four really good. I think it's going to work out, but I do wish Spencer Knight a lot of luck because I think he's a really good player, and I wish it would have worked out better because he was one of my favorite players. I was at his NHL debut. I was at his playoff debut. I mean,
that was a great game.
It was unbelievable.
If there's a player I'd like to meet, it's him.
There we go. Finally, some good news tonight for Ryan.
You'd like to meet him. I wouldn't like his autograph. Really bad penmanship, but he'd be a nice guy to meet.
I'm going to try to get him on my podcast.
By the way, finally, some good news for Ryan tonight, as you can see right there.
Boone Jenner got a point.
There you go, Boone Jenner point. So,
hey Ryan, give me a call. I'll just let you just vent. Because I know you're.
Yes, we got to hear from Ryan.
But no, yeah.
But after that,
Ryan, I will host the spaces for Ryan.
But all right, but here's anything else before we go, guys?
We're good. Well, I might do a spaces on Sunday, so hang in.
But we'll be back in like an hour and a half for NHL After Dark, talking about any other deals. A lot of stuff going around the NHL. Caesar's ready, locked and loaded for that.
I'm ready, bro.
Let's
go.
Some time here. I gotta eat.
But as always, thank you guys for joining. This was our biggest turnout. I'm happy we did this. We hopped on real quick because we were on the phone. Once they went official, me and Kirby were like, we got to go.
We thought of it right away.
Shout out to our sponsor, Caneswear, and our newest sponsor that we'll get more into later tonight, Jeremy Beckham Real Estate. Once again, thank you to Jeremy.
Thank you, Jeremy,
for joining the Cats and Rats sponsor family. We appreciate you. And as always, boys, let's go Cats.
What's up, Cats and Rats fans? If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button before you head out. If you're listening to us on Apple and Spotify, make sure you leave us a 5-star review. And just like always, let's go Cats.